Good morning. My name is Brent Davidson. I'm one of the operations section chiefs with Southwest Team 3 here for your morning update on the Battle Mountain Complex. Everything's looking pretty good on the fire so far here today and yesterday. There is the Owens fire way up to the northeast of the bigger complex of fires. Everything's looking good on the Owens fire still. You have some resources that are patrolling that to make sure that it stays where it's at and everything looks good. On the bigger portion of the fire down here, on the northern side of the fire overall is where the most activity is happening with resources and with some burnout operations just to ensure it doesn't move any further north to protect the values that are north of the fire perimeter. Across the north end, the concentration of effort is spread out across the whole portion. Crews are patrolling, monitoring, mopping up a lot of the fire edge when they've worked it directly or done burnout operations to stop the progression of the fire. Potamus Creek has been a big focus of a lot of resources, attention, and effort. They have done some burnout operations around some dozer line and road systems in here over the last 24 or 48 hours. Been successful with that, and they're continuing to hold in that area to make sure that it doesn't move any further. There will be some continued burnout in here as the opportunity presents itself and the need arises to make sure that they have that all under control. Over a little bit further to the west, there's also been some small amount of burnout operations that have been going on over in this area around Solace Creek, and they're just making sure that that's all tucked in. They'll be keeping eyes on that today. There's some efforts being done north in this area up here by Pinland Lake. They're working on contingency lines and doing some mechanical treatment and some prep up here just in case the need arises. They have a backup plan to control the fire's movement to the north there. So everything's looking good for the most part. Night shift was out there again all night last night, keeping tabs on it, and so far so good. No significant issues, and we'll keep monitoring and keep folks out there throughout the day. As we move around over here towards the eastern side of the fire, all of that's also looking really good. We do have containment line in a lot of that part of the fire, and folks will be continuing to just patrol, do some mop up, maybe start working on some repair work over there, and just keeping eyes to make sure that all looks good. Southern, southeastern portion of the fire, this is all very much the same. Just a bunch of resources out in this area. They're falling snags, they're mopping up, they're removing some of the equipment they used along that fire area, and just keeping a good presence and keeping a good eye on that. Not to sound like a broken record, but as we move over here to the kind of southwestern portion of the fire, it's much the same. All of this line, you're seeing containment on that. It looks really good, but we do still have a presence out there making sure we don't have any issues that arise. Over here in our division Zulu on the map, which is pretty much the southwestern corner, there's still some fire's edge that's not contained. We've got a bunch of resources over there. They're focusing all their efforts on removing burned trees that might be a hazard to the folks working in there, working around some of the structures and homes that are in this area, and then just really mopping up and controlling this fire's edge so it doesn't have any cause any issues as well. And then everything looks good moving up the western portion of the fire to the north corner here up toward Tupper. Still some monitoring patrol from air and ground, but really looking good along that edge. We also have crews that are identified for initial attack for any new fire starts that happen in the area, so we can assist with any of those. And overall, everything's going good and looking good as of this morning. A lot of work to continue to do to make sure everything stays where it's at, and so far so good.